something about my experiences as a gender-critical lesbian in academia. So, like many of you here, I stumbled into this debate naively believing that some characters must be a joke, right? It simply never occurred to me that apparently sane people really believe that the power of thought alone could magically transform male people into women, never mind lesbians. Now, the first inkling of trouble for me began when Lily Madigan announced that they had bravely come out of the closet as a lesbian to their father. And I said that someone can only come out of a closet if they have actually ever been in one, and which Madigan could never have been, right, as a heterosexual man. And there followed numerous complaints to my head of department that from last month, Stephanie Hayden and Adrian Harrop said that I am a safeguarding risk who is compromising the safety of LGBT students and staff. Because I publicly stated that Rachel McKinnon is a man. So now I am under investigation for deliberately misgendering Rachel McKinnon on the internet. Now, I can't say any more than that because my lawyer, an actual one and not a certain self-identified one, is handling the complaint. But I will publicly say this, right? A male person with convictions for assault and a doctor who has doxed and harassed women online surely constitute a much greater safeguarding risk than a lesbian who, because she's literally a lesbian, thinks that lesbians are same-sex and not same-gender attracted. So beyond that, like many of you I'm guessing, I've lost friendships, I've suddenly found myself blocked by people I thought I'd had some good conversations with, and it turns out that that all counts for nothing when there are homophobic woke points to be earned, right? So this is the academic terrain that I'm navigating as the Grand Transphobe of York. In light of the insanity plaguing academia, I want to make just 2 suggestions for us all today. Most obviously, we need to organise both on and offline to defend and uphold the principles of academic freedom. So out lesbian academics such as Kathleen Stock and myself and our allies must be free to criticise the notion that biological men can become women and quite often lesbians because of their feeling that they are, right? You just do not get to become a lesbian by busting some special gender moves, wise up channeling Alex Sharp, Rachel McKinnon and drinking whatever Sally Hines is on these days, right? You actually have to be a woman who's attracted to other biological women. It's that simple. And I find it quite astonishing that organisations such as Stonewall, who were once an inspirational beacon to lesbians, are now redefining lesbian to mean being attracted to the same gender. Because that right there is erasing our sexuality, which many of us have spent years truly struggling to accept. And because of this ridiculous definition, we've now got in academia the spectacle of privileged academics, usually heterosexual men, telling us who it is socially and philosophically acceptable to be attracted to and calling for us to be fired for transphobia if we dare to assert our sexuality. And to me, these people, they are absolutely no different from drunk Steve in your local pub who says he can turn you after drinking 3 pints. It's just that they're getting away with it because their homophobia is disguised as academic prose. Another obvious thing to say is that lesbian students and staff must be free to organise and express their views without fear of harassment and violence, and we must call for this. Because most of you already know that Julie Bindel was physically threatened by Cathy Brennan, a trans woman, after leaving the University of Edinburgh event on women's sex-based rights back in June. And what did Edinburgh come back to us and say? Well, they refused to release the video of the event at which I also spoke for 2 whole months. They embargoed us, right? And then there was no statement condemning the attack on Julie Bindel. Cathy opening stock has had to have security at Sussex put a spy hole in her door because of threats, and on it goes. So universities need to start sending robust messages that this behaviour is completely unacceptable instead of remaining silent, or in some cases, such as what's going on with me, summoning us to disciplinary meetings because we unashamedly state that our sexuality excludes biological men. That's kind of the point of being a lesbian, right? So, when you think about this, right, I'm an atheist, and if I walk into this Christian group demanding that they censor me and claiming that refusing to do so constitutes like atheism phobia, that's just absurd, right? And I think equally absurd are these incessant demands that we include biological men in our events and even our dating pool. So I want to end by calling for us to constructively capitalise upon the hard work of Julie Furlong here today, Lauren who spoke, and Susie, as well as the bravery of all of you attending today, because I know how difficult it has been for some of you to come out and march and be here. And we need to continue to be outspoken, to continue to gather, and by challenging lesbophobia wherever we see it, write to your councils to insist that they uphold the Equality Act, which is supposed to protect us. Write to LGBT organisations to remind them what being a lesbian means and demonstrate peacefully. So thank you everyone, thank you Magdalene, and let's show Lita to party tonight.